Hi there. This is just a very quick breakdown of how to do your marking, online marking. Let me just take you through it. So what you do is you open up your course and you go through to it. And what you'll find is that there is either assignments that need marking. You'll see I've got open here assignment 1 that requires marking. But normally what I tend to do is I tend to go through to my grade center, and you'll find your grade center under the left hand side, under your tools there, grade center, and I normally click on needs marking. So if I go to need marking, you'll find there's all of the stuff that needs marking. Now I've got my ICE tasks here, I've got some activities in here. And then what you can do is you can see the items, all items. You just click on that and you select assignment 1 and you click go. And what that would bring up, that will bring up all of the assignments. I just click show all. And what that would do is that would bring up all the assignments that requires marking. And so what I would do is generally you'll see there it is attempt 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4 for Luke. So let me go on to Luke's first one, and you'll see it opening up. All right, so there it opens up. So what I tend to do at this point is I close. If you scroll onto the side panel here, if you click on the division, you'll see there's a little arrow. I close that arrow to give me a bit more space. And what that does is it opens up this window a lot more. And always make sure, and this is important, always make sure that you go to the last attempt that was submitted, because we only mark the final attempt for the students. And then you've got a couple of options of how you go about doing this. So I just normally click and open up the space. This is feedback to the learner. And then you'll see there's a little pen mark there that you can use. And I just normally scroll through the assignment. And if there is a pen mark, or if I want to make a tick, I just select the pen and I do a little tick there, and then I click save. I do a little tick again, I click save. I do a little tick, I do save, tick, save, tick, save. And at that point you give some feedback to the learner, and you click done. Sorry, once you've done all your ticks and you save them, you click done. That then allows you, all those ticks are now saved. You then give some feedback to the learner. So you can tell the learner, well done on a good assignment. Make sure you do your referencing better next time, etc., etc. And you give a mark. So 50, in this case it's 60%, and then I submit. Now what the system will then do is it will go directly onto the next assignment that needs to be marked, and you'll see that it is Luke's assignment as well. So I just click on the little arrow there just to move it onto the next one. Click onto the next one. You'll see that Luke submitted quite a few assignments. We only marking the one, which is the final attempt, and you'll see the one that is marked quite clearly. So here is the next one. So this is Kai Britnell. And you'll be able to continue marking Kai's one. So once you've marked all of your assignments, I normally just open this up again. Once you've marked all of your assignments, you need to go and get those marks again. So what I tend to do is I go to my full grade center again. I then click on work offline. You'll see in the top right hand corner there's a work offline. I click on download and I submit, and I download all of my marks that has been captured onto the grade center. And you'll see if you open that particular file, it is an Excel file. I'll just click on there, just say yes. An Excel file will then open with all of the marks for this particular. So let me just scroll across. There's assignment 1. And I'll delete everything else along. Delete. Just merge that text. So there we go, assignment 1. And there is Luke's marks. And he got 60. And what I then do is I then look at those marks, and then I would go and capture those marks onto the mark sheet. So that's one way of doing it. There is another way of doing it. So what we have done for business management between the business management lecturers is that we have developed our marking rubrics. So you'll see that there is.
My sandwiches were bubbling.
So what we've done is we've developed marking rubrics, and if you look at, let me just go on to grade. If I go assignments that needs marking, grading, I go to any one of these assignments. You'll see that there is assignment 1 of 20, and I normally just close this panel so that it opens the marking panel a bit wider so I can read a bit more. And I click on the little blue bar, and there's the assignment rubric. And what the assignment rubric actually does, it allows us, so if I go show descriptions, it actually shows the descriptions of every one of these. So for instance, for question 1.1, I'll have a set of answers. So it's very weak, poor, acceptable, accomplished. And what I would do is I will just click for each one of these questions. Question 1.2, acceptable. For business management, what we had is we've got a couple of essays. So the essays has a specific marking rubric that is on the memo. So we just move that memo and created the online rubric. And you'll see that it's quite easy. We just go acceptable, 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 poor, acceptable, accomplished, and there your mark sort of tallies up at the bottom, and you can put in some comments, and you save it, and you'll see there is your mark allocated. And that is a lot easier to mark because it is per question. As you're reading through each one of the questions, you can literally allocate the marks as per the rubric, and all of those marks would go to the actual sort of grade center as well. So that is one way of doing it. So there are different ways. So just to reiterate again, you go through to your course. So let me just click on a course here. You go to any one of your courses. You go to to your assignment that needs marking, in this case assignment 1, you can just click on there and you just go grade, and then you start grading your assignments directly. And from there, what you need to do is go to your grade center, download, go to full grade center, download your grade center, and what will that do is will bring all of your marks into an Excel spreadsheet that you can then transfer over onto your mark sheet.